Hello tarot readers, today I'm going to go through a New Year spread that I do every year for this time of year for the New Year, and hopefully you'll enjoy the spread. So I'm going to do 3 different versions of this same tarot spread. Let's start with the first one, and away we go. So this is how I would do this spread: January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So we have 12 cards, and each card represents 1 month of the year. So what I would do now is I'd take every card and say, for example, in January we have the 8 of Wands. So the 8 of Wands means that there's a lot of things in the air in January that are to land, that they haven't got there yet. So there's a lot of movement going on in January, but nothing's actually solidated, nothing's fallen down yet, nothing's got to your hands. Nothing's been clarified yet. So there's a lot of things literally in the air ready to come to you in January. In February we have the 3 of Cups. So I will talk about a celebration. You're going to have a celebration in February where you'll be with friends, with people that you care about, the Cups, and you'll be just enjoying this really great celebration in February. In March we have an exchange of monies here, exchange of finances, so you'll be receiving and giving. You'll be in a position to be able to give, but you'll also be receiving something from the other side also. So this is what we do every month. We read the card. Obviously I'm saying it very quickly so that this video isn't an hour long. You want to squeeze everything that you can from each card. So January, February, March, April. I used to have a tablecloth which had all the months on of the year, which was quite handy because you always forget, but that was many years ago, and I've not had one of them for years now. So you do have to keep remembering the month or going through them. So January, February, March, April. In April we have the 5 of Cups, and the 5 of Cups represents disillusion and tears. So I will be saying to my client, in April there will be tears and there will be disillusions, there'll be a lot of disappointments. The problem with this spread like this, although it sounds great and a card a month, why is she going to be crying in April? That would be like a major question. Like, why am I going to cry? Why am I going to be disappointed? You know, what kind of celebration am I going to with my friends? What kind of things are in the air? So we have various ways of doing this, and one way is to ask a question and put the card on top. So once you've been through the card, you can say, right, okay, she's got disappointment in April, I can see tears, I can see the 5 of Cups. Why? What's it connected to? And I've got the Lovers card, so I will say this is going to be about a romantic relationship, decisions that you're going to have to make in a romantic relationship because of disappointment, disillusions, etc., etc. So now we have a reason of why this card's there. We know it's not financially, we know it's not because of a family member dying or hurting, it's because of a romantic relationship. So that's one way of doing this spread. You just take 1 card for each month of the year, and then anything that needs clarifying, you put other cards on top so you know a little bit of what you're actually talking about, which is great. But there's another slightly easier way of doing this, and that is way number 2. And way number 2 is to get the tarot cards, mix the tarot cards, and we're gonna think of a theme. So my client, let's pretend she's called Susie. My client Susie wants to know about her love life. 2020, I want to know what's going to go on between me and my partner. You know, what's our relationship going to be like in 2020? So before we even put the cards on the table, we know we're talking about the love life or financial, or they may say, I want to know about my job, about my work for 2020, my career or a project that I'm doing. So we know what we're talking about before we even put the cards on the table. So Susie's love life for 2020, and we just do the same: January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So we know that in come January, She's going to be very strong, and she's going to be dominating a little bit the relationship. So I'd say, Susie, in January, I can see you dominating. We've got the strength card, so you'll be dominating more this relationship, and you'll be in control, and I can see a lot of strength there. Come February, I have the death card, so now I'm going to be talking about transformation in this relationship. There's something that's going to be changing, something that's going to be transforming in this relationship, and basically there's something that's dying because it is the death card. So I'm getting that the love is dying in this relationship as the transformation's going on in the month of February. And in the month of March, somebody's leaving, somebody's going away. So I'm feeling like there'll be journeys involved and somebody going away from the relationship in the month of March. And again, I'm saying this very, very quickly. When you're actually giving a reading, you want to really squeeze the potential out of every single card. And March, April, in April, this dissatisfaction. So no matter what he does, no matter what you do, neither one of you are going to be happy in this relationship come the month of March. It's like no matter what you do to him, he's not acknowledging it, and whatever he does for you, you're just not bothered, you're not interested. It's become a point of boredom, this relationship. And we do this every month, so we're giving Susie a really clear view of what's happening in her love life for the whole year. So the further we go forward, obviously we get cards that are a bit more dramatic, like the Three of Swords. And you'll see by the end of the year how basically she's, Susie's going to be on her own. She's got the Hermit card. We've got a separation coming up here for my imaginary client. So that would be a second way of doing this reading, where you're just reading card by card. And again, if you wanted to clarify something, like, why is this journey in the cards? Why is he going away, or will it be me going away? You can always, if your intuition isn't kicking in and telling you, which is what normally happens with tarot readers, a lot of times it's their intuition that will tell them which is which, who's going, who's staying, who's taking the journey. But if not, you can always ask questions, is it him that's going to go? And we've got the Knight of Coins, so I would say, yeah, he's got to go away for financial reasons, so maybe work reasons, to sort his finances out. So he's got to travel due to work, so due to finances. So that's what I would do here. I would ask questions on top of any doubts that I have. So this reading can easily take you 20 minutes, half an hour, however long it takes. There's so many different ways a tarot reader can read cards. There's more ways of reading cards than there is tarot readers. So however long it takes you, but it can be quite an intense reading, but only about one theme, only about one subject. In this case, it was her love life. So it's great if somebody wants to know something just for the one thing of the year. Like if it was me, I'd want to know about my business for 2020. How's my business going to go in 2020? And I'd want to know a little bit, a month by month view. Now we're going to try the third method, and this is the method that I do most. You need quite a big table for this one. That's why I've changed my little table. In January I've changed my little table, because you do need a bigger table for this spread. And I actually love doing this spread. I love it. You can do it any time of the year. You don't really have to do it in January. You can always start, your first card can be July, it can be August, but it is more traditional to do the New Year spread in New Year. But you can actually do it any time of the year. I tend to only do it in January, and I have a whole campaign now the month of January where I do this spread, and I really do love it. So let's get my imaginary friend Susie again. And what we're going to do here, and don't be scared if you're learning the tarot, don't be scared about the amount of cards that are going on the table very, very soon. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So this is a whole year, and this is the love life. So this would be my client's love life for the year coming. The next lot of cards would be her financial situation for the whole year. So keep the next lot of cards on top or as close to the card underneath it, so we're not mixing all these cards up, because if not, it can be a little bit hard. The next cards that go on top or right next to them is for their career, their work life. And you know, you can always change this. If you don't want to put the work life down, you could choose something else. So if you know the person, or you've got a client who specifically wants to add something in there, like for me, I would say not my work, because I don't have a work. I have a career, I have a business. So I would say I want to just check my business. If you didn't know that, it would come under work anyway. It would come under the work cards. But some clients want something completely different, so they may say, no, I want to know about, you know, a project I've got to go to the moon and back. I want to just look at that. And you can change the work life for that one, or any one you want, really. But I prefer to do it this way: the love life, the finances, the work way. The next lot is family. Family does not include your husband or your partner or your wife. It just includes your external family, like your parents and your siblings or your children, etc. Brothers, sisters, or all come under family, but not partners. That would be in your love life. And the very last one, because it's 5, I do spirituality. And the reason I like to do a spiritual set of cards is because I get a lot of tarot readers and a lot of people who have got spiritual centered businesses, healers, psychics, mediums, etc., spiritual authors. So I do like to have a look, not just about the business side of their life, but also the growth spiritually. So that's the last lot of cards I would put down there. Right. I told you this is going to be big. Don't be scared with all these cards. Now, what I'd like to do is very carefully take the cards for January, and I'm going to put them as they come out in the middle. And now I would read the cards of January. So I would say to my imaginary client, the first card in January was her love life. So I'd say, Susie, in January there's a celebration regarding your relationship. I feel like you're going to get engaged, you're going to get married, you're going to go one step further, you may be moving together, but it's definitely a celebration about your relationship. So I would talk about that for a little while. Then I will put the card down here, away in the corner. The next card was her financial situation, and we have the 2 of Swords. So I would say in January I can see that you don't see clearly how you're going to move forward financially. You've got a lot of pressure going on. There's a lot of things that are in your hands, a lot of pressure on you, a lot of pressure on your shoulders, and you really can't see clearly how to move forward. You need to let something go financially, and it would all be about the finances, because that's what this second lot is, the finances. So I would say financially you can't see, you need to start letting go of certain things, and that would then certainly, I don't know now because I'm just doing this for the video, but that would spark my intuition to talk about what kind of things, you know, maybe she needs to let go of certain financial situations that she can do, you know, maybe not spend so much in certain things, etc. Tighten her belt financially, because she seems to be under a lot of stress in January. The next card would be her work card, and I have the Page of Swords. So I'd say in work there's a lot of thought going into it, but she seems to be very young in this career, in this job. So there's also a lot of innocence. There's ideas that they're not quite filling out. You know, she's not quite got the idea of a job in January. She's working, but it's not quite all there. And the reason for that is the sword is got his head, the sword's top of the head is half cut off, so all the ideas are not quite flowing. And it's a page, so it talks about youthfulness, youngness. And the next card would be the family card, and I would say that there is definitely a disappointment and a feeling of loss and a feeling of sadness there with her family in January. So maybe she hasn't got to see him over the Christmas period, over the New Year period, but there's definitely a disappointment there in January with her family. And again, I would use rather my intuition, or put another card on top if I wanted to clarify that a little bit more and find out why she's going to feel a bit abandoned by her family and outcasted by them. And then her last card for January would be her spirituality. And here I would talk about somebody who's going to come in and offer a lot of value. This is the Knight of Coins, so somebody who's going to come in and offer a lot of value, come into her life, a spiritual path, offer her a lot of valuable information and things that she can really work on to help her spiritual growth. So I'd say a lot better than that, a lot more words than that, but that would be January. Come February, I would do exactly the same. So love life, work life, financial life, work life, family life, spirituality. And I would talk about that in an intense, long format, making sure I'm not jumping over any cards, I'm not missing any cards, I'm thoroughly understanding each and every card, and the ones that I don't have the answer to, I will take another card out, not because I don't know the meaning, but because I need to clarify a bit more where the card is coming from. So I would take a little bit, I'll take another card on top and just pop it on with ease. By the end of the year, do the same. I put them in the middle, do the conversation, do the talk, and then I put them to one side. By the end of the year, when we get to December, we have got no cards in front of us and a big mess over here. And that's a massive mess on this side where you've got all these cards all kind of squashed together. Even if you've got a bigger table, you haven't got bigger arms. So you will have quite a mess over here. And that's great because it's just giving you a little bit of a reminder as you're putting the cards there. Well, actually, this month, this is happening, but 2 months ago, yeah, 2 months ago, she wasn't in a great place in her love life, and now there's a separation here. It just gives you a reminder of the story that you've told up to now. So this may seem on the surface a little bit more complicated, but it is definitely very, very easy because you know exactly why every card is on the table. You know whether it's because of the love life, the finances, the family, so you shouldn't really have that many questions. And it is a lot easier once you've practiced it and tried it a few times. You'll say, oh wow, this was really easier than the first one, which only had 12 cards, and yet you had to kind of work out why each card was on the table. Where was it coming from? Was it connected to any of the other cards? Is it a separate issue? You know, just seeing one card on the table for a whole month is like, well, what does this card mean? Are they talking about the finances, the work life? Is it somebody in the family? Is it a love life? Where's this coming from? And this way you know exactly where each card is coming from, so it is a lot easier. It takes a lot less energy, especially, well, it does for me. I don't know about for you, but for me this type of reading takes a lot more energy. And I absolutely love doing these kinds of readings because I like to get a full year's bird's eye look onto each aspect of somebody's life. I will say one little kind of warning with this type of spread, and it's the same with any type of yearly spread anyway, not just this one. Because we measure time slightly different than Spirit do, we've got diaries, we've got calendars, and they've got processes and kind of paths. Their time is on a path. First they're going to do this, it's a process. Then they're going to do that, then they're going to go there. Where we go, first we're going to go there on the 1st, then on the 14th we're going there, and on the 19th we're going there. So it's completely different. What I will say, for whatever reason, I think it's because the difference of the way we look at time, and also things coming our way, obstacles happen, things can get a slight diversion, but sometimes the months don't work out. So if I say to somebody, oh, you're going to move house in July, they may actually not move house until September, or they may end up moving house the month before. Timing with tarot is always a little bit dodgy. It's never kind of set in stone, and that's why I always give a few months here or there when I'm doing a general reading anyway. I never say to somebody, oh, that's definitely going to happen on such a month, unless it was because I was told through spirit or because of my psychic intuition, but that's obviously not what we're talking about today. We're talking about the tarot. So with this spread, and any kind of timely spread anywhere, I would always give a little bit of a leeway for the months to be different. And that's great if you tell the person, you say, look, I'm going to do a month by month spread, but just know that Destiny and the Tarot work in different ways than we do, and you may find that it all comes together, but the monthing may change a little bit. And your clients are normally going to, well, my clients have got no problem with that whatsoever, and I'm sure yours won't, if you just explain that to them. Why that happens, like I said, it is a bit of a bummer, but it just happens that way. And it's happened to me loads of times. I've been like, oh yeah, in August you've got this wedding, and in September you're going to move house, and you know, then it's turned out it's been the other way round. Or it's been, no, it all happened in September, I had the wedding and I moved house in the November. So whatever the reason, like I said, I think it's the two different worlds, got two different ways of looking at time, and there's so much going on. But I don't think that a spread should be knocked down just for the time period. I just think this is a great idea to give a general idea of the year coming, and it gives us more or less a time frame, but in general it will give you what's happening in the whole year. I hope you enjoyed my spread, hope you enjoyed it. Try the 3 different ways, see which way works for you the best. And thank you very much. Have a wonderful new year. I'm going to be seeing lots of you in 2020 because I plan on doing lots and lots of videos. So if you like my channel, press subscribe, press a little dingly bell if you want to hear notifications when I get a new video out. And if you want to like and share my video, that would be absolutely amazing. Thank you very much, and I will see you very soon.